So some things about to start changing. Now JetBlue Corporation on Monday has announced that they are the first U.S. major airline to order customers to wear masks, while traveling in an effort to curb the spread of coronavirus. So they say the new policy follows guidelines from the CDC and that all individuals should wear a face covering in public. So starting May the 4th, all JetBlue customers were required to wear a face mask covering on their nose and mouth, that area, throughout their journey, including during check-in, boarding, while in flight and deplaning, they said the other day. Now, they said that they're doing this to protect the people and others around you. And we knew some new normalcy was going to start coming with that. So now the United States of America is now about to start looking like China. Gone are the days that we wouldn't walk around with face masks. In China, that's a big thing for them. Everybody walking around with masks. You're like, why do they walk around those masks? Now we got to start doing it. I get why we're doing it. In airports, especially if you go to the international terminals, people coming in from all over the place. So the mask thing, it can get annoying. It could. The only thing I'll be concerned about, though, with the mask would be international flights. That's the only thing I'll be concerned about, because if you're going on like a 13-hour flight or 15-hour flight, something like that, and you're wearing that mask the whole time, you have to get a mask that protects you, but also it's breathable because, you're going to sleep, etc. And some people may not want to sleep in that mask. Even surgeons don't sleep in that mask like that. But it was saying that they're asking the customers to follow the CDC guidelines in the airport as well. The company also, they say in March, it had limited seats available for sale on most flights, allowing the airline to provide additional space between individuals. That's another thing they talked about was not allowing 3 people to sit on a row anymore. They're talking about making it 2 with separate. And I'm like, but if you're with your wife or your husband or your girlfriend, boyfriend, your kids, how you gonna do all that separate? I'm just saying I get why they're doing it, but it's just gonna be like this new normal that we may see. Now they said that a few people actually passed away. A man in New York's JFK, his name was Ralph Gizmondi, 68 years old. Died April the 5th, and Jared Lovos, 28, a former crew, worked in HR at JFK, died April the 9th. They worked for JetBlue, so they had the coronavirus. So what they're trying to do is minimize that, of course. I think that even though things are opening back up, people should have been washing their hands anyway, okay? You should always wash your hands. You should always take a bath. You should always put on deodorant, lotion, brush your teeth, all the things that you need to do. Get your teeth clean, everything you need to do with your hygiene, okay? And wearing masks may be something new. Hey, that may be a new business for people making masks. They got people right now making all kind of masks and making money. So making masks could be, like I say, a new thing. People getting involved now and making hand sanitizer. It may be just a new business venture for a lot of people. I always say, look at situations and create a business out of it. Masks, hand sanitizers, cleaning supplies, anything that you could think of that you can be a part of. But leave me a comment there. Let's think about JetBlue is the first one to start this. Now, I believe there's going to be a domino effect. I believe that Southwest and American and all of them are going to do it. And I believe also the international flights are going to start doing it as well, just so they could pass it on. Now, the only thing that concerns me, a lot of people talk about the coronavirus, vaccine that's possibly coming. The only thing that concerns me about that, and I hear you talk about that, is will they require that for international travel? Like, for instance, if you go to West Africa, you got to have a yellow fever vaccine or you're not getting in. And if you don't have it, then you either got to get it at the airport. Like, for instance, let's say a person went to Ghana, right? And they have the yellow fever, then they have to get the vaccine. Now, I know, of course, in Africa, you could pay not to get the vaccine to somebody, but, that's just how it is out there. But for the most part, certain countries you go to, you can't even enter unless you have your vaccine card. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, that situation with international travel.